Have you been on a hunt for the best CRM for your service-based or event industry business? You've been trying to figure out what's the best platform to help you of keeping your task automated, your workflows clear, and to have clear communication with your clients. In this video, I'm going to be doing a comparison between HoneyBook and Releventful to help you of understanding which platform is the best platform for you. Today, I will be going over the pros and cons of each platform. However, I am going to tell you, I think that they both are great. However, it depends on the type of business in which you have and what you do in the event industry. For those of you that are new to this channel, hi, my name is Jessie. I have over 15 years in the event industry, and I am a certified HoneyBook Pro. Here on Green Eyed Ambition, I like to talk about all of the things that deal with the unsexy things about running a business in our industry. So let's jump into the conversation for today. So you may be asking yourself, what is HoneyBook? HoneyBook is a CRM that's designed for entrepreneurs and service-based businesses of different sizes. It is ideal for those of you that have anywhere between 1 to 5 employees that are utilizing the system. The beautiful thing is that it really was geared and created for the event industry. So it's perfect for event planners, to photographers, to DJs, to caterers, and so much more. It will help you from managing your client management as well as invoicing, contracts, and automation. So it's all wrapped up in a user-friendly interface to help it make it easy for you to run your business on the go. If you've never heard of the company Releventful, this is a really awesome platform that I wanted to share with people because I don't feel like we have enough conversation around it, specifically for those of you that have larger teams. I feel like this platform is great for those of you that need to have specific types of reports ran, and I'll be talking about that a little bit later in this video. Just like HoneyBook, you are able to, the first difference is that Relevantful was truly designed for event professionals as a CRM. It allows for you to do client management. It also allows for you to do team collaborations, guest communications, and also event planning workflows. And it is your all-in-one for event businesses. This platform is specifically geared towards those of you that have teams that are larger than 4 to 5 team members. So now let's dig into the pros and cons of each one. So the biggest pro for HoneyBook is that it does have a user-friendly interface, and they're always putting out new releases to help with the navigation process. So it does allow for the setup to be a breeze. Some of you may have challenges at times of doing the setups. However, the biggest challenge sometimes is because a lot of us don't have clarity enough to put our processes into a system, because I always say you cannot put confusion into a computer system at all, because you will get whatever you get. However, it is great for a solo business owner. You may have, it just may be you, and you have a few friends or other vendors you work with, so you don't necessarily need anything that's going to be completely cumbersome because of the size of your business. And size does not relate to revenue, because I do know some people that are still solo businesses. However, they're making multiple millions of dollars. So it's not about revenue, it's about the size of your team. One of the things that I personally was attracted to HoneyBook when I switched over several years ago is that you can create really beautiful invoices and contracts, as well as other documents in which you need inside of your business. It's a beautiful visual platform, which, and of course, in the event industry, great visuals are very necessary. So that's why I thought that this platform was amazing for us in our industry. In addition, there's some strong automation workflows. They do have their Automation 2.0 that is being rolled out to different platforms right now that allows for you to have if-then conditions, which a lot of people that understand that philosophy are extremely excited about it. And I am going to do a video on that at some point to explain a little bit better to you how to use it inside of your business. And the best thing about it is that it does have affordable pricing depending on what entry point you want to go into inside of HoneyBook. For most of us, we need to do the middle ground package, which will allow for you to have access to automations, the Calendly, and a lot of other features that just are not available in the basic. The cons for HoneyBook is that it really does have some limitations to event specific features. So one of the things that you do have to do is, for some people, because it doesn't organically come to you, is that you do have to work with a pro like myself to help you flushing through how do you use it for process mapping. Or what some people then have to do is use another platform for project management, like Asana or something else, to help with the actual planning process. So it will allow for you to use it for your client management. However, when it comes to the planning process with all the little details, it doesn't necessarily have that ability. Currently, there's not any text message built in outside of reminding your people about meetings and or payments. But I know that there's some conversations around that method, but right now it's not available outside of those two notifications. And the obvious con is, if you have a large team, it can be a little bit challenging for you because of you having limited amount of team members in which you can add into your account. One of the workarounds I give to people when it comes to that is only have your main team leads as team members to get access into your account. But again, if you have a team of 20, 30 people, HoneyBook may not be the best option for you. And then that's when you need to get into an enterprise level system, which how I view Releventful. Okay, so now let's get into Releventful. The pro to Releventful, because of the dynamics inside of their system, when you do sign up with their account, they do walk you through how to do it, and they have someone that onboards you. So they do have the ability to tailor your account based to what your team needs, be it on team chat, guest messaging, and timelines and things of that nature, and is built into their setup fee. It does have the ability to allow you to do text and email marketing, which can be a bonus for those of you that are in that stage of your business. I always talk about the importance of doing email marketing. However, I think it's great that it does have that as a feature for those that are really doing that inside of their business. The great thing too is that they have the ability to do collaboration tools that will allow for you to talk to different event teams and your vendors in the portal in real time, which again, for big teams and big venues and things of that nature, it is a big value add. And then also you are able to get detailed reporting and analytics, which is super important, definitely for those of us that are over a certain point in our business and we're using the data to make informed decisions inside of our business, because it'll allow for you to really truly monitor your business performance. Okay. The cons to using this platform is that there can sometimes be a steeper learning curve. That is why they do have an onboarding team that helps you with setting this up. The platform is more robust, so it does take a little bit more of a setup time and a learning curve so you can feel more confident inside of it. Because it is really geared towards bigger teams, of course, it is going to have some dynamics to it. The price will be a lot higher than HoneyBook. However, again, when we're talking about enterprise level businesses, it's all relative. Even some people complain about the price for HoneyBook. People complain about whatever. However, I think that when you have a big team and with your specific business, it's almost expected to have a CRM that's going to cost a lot. Like the next level up for a lot of businesses that are service-based businesses would be Salesforce. Salesforce is a huge company and it's a huge learning curve, and the price is not the same as what it would be for using HoneyBook. I just think that people have to understand, again, as you are growing and the needs of your company, your teams, that's why it's important for you to know how much it costs to run your business, so you're pricing accordingly, so that paying for the right platform is not the thing that's stopping you from getting onto it. Because if you're not using a platform that's helping you, you're just slowing down your growth and the ability to scale. So I don't necessarily think price is a bad thing, because if your company you have 5 employees and you're doing a lot of volume and revenue and you have a great profit margins, you need to have something that's very dynamic. However, I do know if you're a smaller business, HoneyBook on the pricing factor will probably be a better lean than you knowing that in a year you're going to be paying over $1,000 on a platform. However, I think if your business is at that place, you should be paying over $1,000. And then the thing is too, is a con is that it is not as well known as the HoneyBooks and the Dubsados. So sometimes it can be a little bit harder to find the tutorials, but that's why they have their support teams that are already built in that are helping to support people with staying on the platform, learning it and mastering it. So you might be saying, all right, which one is the right one for you? How do I choose the best one? HoneyBook is really geared towards if you are a solopreneur or a creative entrepreneur who needs something that's simple and affordable with strong automations that allows for you to still grow and scale and have great profit in your business. That is a great platform for you to start. However, if you are running a team-based event business and you need text message marketing, guest messaging, collaboration tools, Releventful is going to be worth the investment. I have talked to people that have used the platform because they need back of house and front of house printouts. They're a venue that has a ton of locations inside of their building. They need to have a special walkthrough for their banquet hall setup people, then one that goes to the caterers, and then the one that goes like that is going to be the solution for you if you have a dynamic need. So let me know, what do you think? Are you team HoneyBook or are you team Relevantful? Drop a comment below and I would love to be able to answer any of the questions that you have on either platform. Yes, I think both platforms are great. I do think you have to have clarity on where your business is and where it's going so that you're using the right platforms that are going to help you with hitting the next level and ensuring that there are less things falling through the cracks and more things that are working in the right direction. All right, that'll be it. To the next video. Talk to you soon. Peace.